to the Crafty Corner. My name is Miss Lisa, and I have another colorful project for you today. Have you ever heard maybe Grandma say you should eat the rainbow every week? Well, what she's talking about is eating lots of bright colors. Eat your yellows and your greens, eat your vegetables, you know. And so I thought, what's the most colorful summer food that we eat? And it's watermelon. And so we're going to make a little watermelon hand. So come on down to the library and get the things that you need. Let me show you. You are going to have several strips of construction paper, a big red one for the watermelon, and you're going to have some wiggly eyes. You are just going to need some glue and a pencil and scissors and a Sharpie for this project to finish it all up. All right, let me show you what you have to do first. To make our watermelon, you are going to need to take your hand, put it down on the paper, and actually I'm going to use this hand because I'm right-handed. I need to trace it with this hand. So I am going to, you're going to definitely want to make sure that you have part of your wrist because you're going to need this part to make the rind, you know, the half circle part. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to trace my hands and even maybe make them just a little bit fatter than normal, just so that my watermelon is a little bit bigger. So I am going to then cut out on my lines. And I found a really unique book. While I'm cutting this out, I'm going to tell you, I found a really unique book at the library. You can see it right here next to me. It says, if I swallow a watermelon seed, will one start growing in my stomach? Ooh, and so that is a question that a lot of children ask. Also, like, have you ever been told you're going to have a bubblegum tree in your stomach if you swallow some bubblegum? So this has some really unique, wacky questions that you might want to know the answers to. So you might want to come and check this book out. All right, so here is my hand, and I'm going to flip it over. And, you know, I'm not too happy with the way this finger looks. I'm going to trim it off just a little bit. I guess it's okay. I turned it over so that any of my pencil markings that are showing where I didn't cut right on the pencil line is not going to be part of my project. Okay, now here's the tricky part. We need to make a watermelon rind. Okay, we're going to need to have it in a sort of a circular motion down here. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this part off, and so that it's sort of the arc right there. And then we are going to want to put the green on and a real little strip of this green. So I am going to strip this down a little bit more here. I'm going to cut it so that it's thinner. This is supposed, and if you have white at home, you want to use white, that's fine too. Because you know, when you eat your watermelon rind, you can even see it right here. You run into this light green or this whitish part, and then you know you're done eating, okay? You don't want to eat the rind. Although, when I was growing up, my dad would take all of the watermelon that we had eaten and save it in the refrigerator for a while until he had enough of it, and then he would pickle it. I don't know if you've ever had pickled watermelon rind. Oh, but it tastes so good. It tastes just like pickles. It's awesome. Okay, so once you get this, I'm going to trim that part off. Decide where you want your rind. And in fact, you know what, boys and girls, I need to slide this down just a little bit because we need that same sort of curvature right here. So I am going to, okay, this is another time when we need a little bit of math. I want my rind to be about right here, and so I want it curved from here to here. So I'm going to make just a little mark, and I'm going to curve my paper just a little bit. I'm going to come in and have just a little bit of a curve, and it's hard to cut now that I have glued it. Okay, maybe glue stick would have worked a little better. But I'm cutting it just a little bit so that you have a little bit of a curve. See, that's going to look great. All right, so once I have that done, I'm actually going to turn this whole thing over. And I am going to just lift this up a little bit, and we're going to glue all of this down and then trim around the extra. Okay, you can see I totally overdid it on the glue, and that's fine. And if I had a piece of tissue or something here, I could wipe the glue away. So I'm going to use my scrap paper. I'll wipe that extra glue away, turn it over, make sure it looks pretty cool. And then I am going to go ahead and trim this part off. And when we flip it over, we should have a watermelon hand. Okay, that right there is a little bit of a problem, but it's okay. All right, so we are going to want to glue our eyeballs in and make a little happy face. So I'm gonna make my little happy face and glue my little eyeballs in. Now another important part of the watermelon is the seeds. So to make a seed, you sort of start at the top and you come down. It's sort of almost like a teardrop, okay? So I'm gonna add in some little seeds here. Have you ever done a watermelon seed spitting contest? How far can you spit a seed? That's sort of fun. Watermelon is one of the best summer fruits that you can eat. So practice eating the rainbow this summer. Tell mom or dad that that's what you want to do. You want some squash, you want some cantaloupe, you want some watermelon, green beans fresh out of the garden. Yeah, definitely eat your rainbow this summer. All right, the eyeballs, I am going to go ahead and use my white glue and put 2 dots of glue down. Glue those little eyeballs in there. And we have a fun little watermelon hand project. Yep, he's looking at you. All right. Well, that's it, boys and girls. There's our little watermelon hand. We have 2 little guys here, brothers and sisters. All right, thank you so much for watching me, Miss Lisa, here at the Crafty Corner. I will see you again next week, and just remind you, it is summer reading time. Come on down to the library. It's not too late to sign up for the program. Once you have read so many minutes, you can get a prize. So come on down, grab a packet, grab a summer reading form, and read this summer. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next week. Bye. Oh, 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 oh.